Hello everyone, this is Mohan Kumar. Today I shall be delivering a talk on passive transportation in plasma membrane. So passive transports, as we all know, requires no energy input, as compounds are able to move freely across the membrane based only on a favorable concentration gradient. So unlike active transport, it does not require any input of cellular energy because it is driven by the tendency of a system to grow in an entropy. So the rate of passive transport depends on the permeability of the cell membrane, which in turn depends on the organizational characteristics of the membrane lipids and proteins. So passive transport occurs by simple diffusion or via pores in plasma membrane, as we see in diffusion and facilitated diffusion and osmosis also, which are the main three types of passive transportation which we see on in the cell. So coming to the first passive transportation type, that is the diffusion. Diffusion is a passive process of transport. A single substance tends to move from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration until the concentration is equal across space. Materials move within the cell's cytosol by diffusion, and certain materials move through the plasma membrane by diffusion. So diffusion expends no energy, rather the different concentration of material in different areas are a form of potential energy, and diffusion is the dissipation of that potential energy as materials move down their concentration gradient from high to low. So in this picture also we see example oxygen, higher concentration to lower concentration. With lower concentration, the movement of higher concentration molecules of oxygen from higher concentration to lower concentration in relation to time. So what factors describes the diffusion rate? Number one, concentration gradient. So the greater the difference in concentration, the more rapid the diffusion is. The closer the distribution of the material gets to equilibrium, the slower the rate of diffusion becomes. The second one is mass of the molecules. So more massive molecules move more slowly because it is more difficult for them to move between the molecules of the substance they are moving through. Therefore, they diffuse more slowly. Lastly, temperature. Higher temperature increases the energy and therefore the movement of molecules, increasing the rate of diffusion. So these three factors would play a role in the rate of diffusion across a plasma membrane. Second type is the facilitated diffusion, or it is also called as facilitated transport. So here the material moves across the plasma membrane with the assistance of transmembrane proteins down a concentration gradient from high to low concentration without the expenditure of cellular energy. However, the substance that undergo facilitated transport would otherwise not diffuse easily or quickly across the plasma membrane. The solution to moving polar substances and other substances across the plasma membrane rests on the protein that span its surface. The material being transported is first attached to protein or a glycoprotein receptors on the exterior surface of the plasma membrane. This allows the material that is needed by the cell to be removed from the extracellular fluid. These substances are then passed to specific integral proteins that facilitate their passage because they form channels or pores that allow certain substances to pass through the membrane. The integral proteins involved in facilitated transport are collectively referred to as transport proteins, and they function as either channels or carriers for the materials to pass across. So there is one particular factor which would play a role here in facilitated diffusion is solvent density. As the density of the solvent increases, the rate of diffusion decreases. Density increases, diffusion decreases. The molecules slow down because they have a more difficult time getting through the denser medium. Now channel proteins, which are a type of proteins which would play a role in facilitated diffusion. Some molecules such as carbon dioxide and oxygen can diffuse across the plasma membrane directly, as we all know, but others need help to cross its hydrophobic core because the membrane is a bilipid layer having both hydrophilic sites and hydrophobic sites. Hydrophobic sites are sandwiched between the hydrophilic sites. In facilitated diffusion, a form of passive transport, which is molecules diffuse across the plasma membrane with assistance from the membrane proteins, such as channel proteins here, or even carriers. Carriers, I'm going to describe it in my next slide. A concentration gradient exists for molecules that are supposed to be moved across. So they have the potential to diffuse into or out of the cell by moving down it. Since they are charged or polar, they can't cross the phospholipid part of the membrane without any help, because the membrane has a hydrophobic core. So the charged and polar molecules would get stuck in the hydrophobic core and will not pass through the membrane. So they require an aid of certain proteins called channels protein and carrier proteins. So channel proteins. Channel proteins span the membrane and make hydrophilic tunnels across it. Hydrophilic because they are water loving tunnels, because the molecules which pass through them are the ones which are charged or polar molecules. Channels are very selective and will accept only one type of molecule or a few closely related molecules also for transportation. Passage through a channel protein allows polar and charged compound, as I said, to avoid the hydrophobic core. Some channel proteins are open all the time, but others are gated. Gated meaning the channels can open or close in response to a particular signal, usually like an electrical signal or binding of a molecule. Here, as an example, I have given aquaporins. Aquaporins are channel proteins which are tetramerized and form a tube or a tunnel within them, allowing the water molecules to move from higher concentration gradient to lower concentration gradient. So they would play important roles in plant cells, red blood cells, and certain parts of the kidney where they minimize the amount of water lost as urine. Next is the carrier protein, another class of transmembrane protein involved in transport, facilitated transport. These are carrier proteins. They change their shape to move a target molecule from one side of the membrane to the other, and they move more quickly than carrier proteins, and they are very selective. So this is about carrier proteins as shown in the picture. They change their shape to mobilize a molecule from one side, that is extracellular space, to the intracellular space. It can be vice versa also. The last type of passive transportation is the osmosis, which is the diffusion of water through semi-permeable membrane according to the concentration gradient of water across the membrane, which is also similar to diffusion, and it is selectively permeable or move through a semi-permeable membrane, and from a higher area of higher concentration to an area of lower concentration. Water, like other substances, move down the gradient here. So the diffusion of water through the membrane will continue until the concentration gradient of water goes to zero, that is balances out on either side. So osmosis proceeds constantly in living system. There are three types of osmotic solutions here. One is isotonic solution, Another one is hypotonic solution. Third one is hypertonic solution. Isotonic solution, where the salt concentration and water concentration are almost similar between inside and outside the cell. So there is a net movement of water is almost zero. So water lost outside and water gained inside is equal. So the cells would remain healthy and supple. In an hypotonic solution is when the solid concentration outside the cell is lower than the concentration inside the cell. So in hypotonic solution, the water moves into the cell down its concentration gradient, thereby making the cell to swell. Okay, so they become bulged or swell up. But the opposite is the case of hypotonic solution, where the water moves from the cell to outside. So the cells starts losing water and they shrink in size. So this is about osmosis. So we have studied in this class three types of passive transport mechanisms: diffusion, facilitated diffusion, and osmosis. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Any doubts you can leave in the comment box, or you can reach me on my personal WhatsApp number. Thank you.